Brazilian star opens door to a move to Man United amid transfer rumours. Manchester United target Gleison Bremer has acknowledged that he hopes to play in the Premier League at some time in the future. The Juventus defender has been linked with a move to Old Trafford for a long time now. The need for a new defender at the Premier League club has increased after the departure of Raphael Varane at the end of the season. The Red Devils are looking to shake up their defensive lineup as they aim to strengthen their squad. Man United conceded 58 goals in the Premier League in 2023-24, with their defence all over the place under Erik ten Hag. Having been linked with a move to Man United, as per Manchester Evening News, Bremer has admitted he wants to play in the Premier League. When Bremer was questioned about the possibility of joining Man United or Chelsea in the Premier League in an exclusive interview with Marca, he responded, "But I think I'm at a great club, the biggest in the world, and I'm happy. I just won my first title and I want to make history here. It is clear that you can never say never. We'll see what happens." While on international duty, 27-year-old Bremer is helping Brazil get ready for the next Copa America campaign, though it's unclear if the Bianconeri would be amenable to conducting business. Bremer has been on Man United's radar for a while. He made 40 appearances in all competitions as a Juventus regular during the 2023-2024 season. Man United need defensive reinforcements. The Premier League club need a new defender after the departure of Varane and other defenders failing to find consistency. Man United will be making a number of new signings this summer, with a move for a striker, a midfielder, and a defender being considered by the club. The Red Devils failed to maintain their lead in a number of matches last season due to their poor defence, and they will be hoping to change that before the start of next season. 10 managers who could replace Erik ten Hag at Manchester United, ranked. 10 managers could be in contention to replace Erik ten Hag if Manchester United decide to replace their Dutch boss in the near future. Erik ten Hag is under considerable pressure at Manchester United, and rumours are rife that he will be replaced this summer. 10 managers have been ranked as potential successors based on factors such as the likelihood of a deal happening and style of play. Coaches like Gareth Southgate, Thomas Tuchel, and Mauricio Pochettino have all been linked with the United managerial position after Erik ten Hag led Manchester United to a top-4 finish in his first season at Old Trafford, all while lifting the League Cup and making it to the FA Cup final. It was expected that the team would kick on and establish themselves as a genuine title contender during the 2023-24 campaign. But that has not proven to be the case. Splashing close to £200 million during the summer transfer window, the likes of Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount, and Andre Onana were added to United's ranks ahead of the current campaign. However, the Red Devils slipped further behind the teams vying for the Premier League title and eventually missed out on Champions League qualification. Add into the mix that there are new people in charge of the football operation, and ten Hag could find himself in the danger zone regardless of ending the season with a shock FA Cup final triumph over Manchester City. There have been rumblings that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will look for a fresh start at Old Trafford. A decision is said to be edging ever closer as the ex-Ajax boss awaits the outcome of an end-of-season review. But then the question becomes, who is the most likely man to replace the United manager? In an attempt to answer that, we've ranked the 10 contenders from most likely to least likely. Ranking factors. While assessing this shortlist of 9 managers, several factors came into play when ranking them as potential successors to ten Hag. Among the metrics were: likelihood, the managers have to be attainable for the club, or have previous links to the United job. This is the key factor, otherwise we might as well have thrown in Pep Guardiola. Recent form, how well managers have performed in their current positions. Success, how many trophies have the managers won, and could they replicate that success at Old Trafford? Long-term option, could the manager build a project at United and return them to the Premier League summit? Style of play, do the managers in question play an exciting brand of football? Gareth Southgate could leave England after Euro 2024. England manager Gareth Southgate appears to be the front-runner to occupy the Old Trafford dugout if ten Hag moves on. The Three Lions boss has other things to focus on at the minute as he gears up towards Euro 2024 with the national side. Speculation is rife that Southgate will step down as the England boss after the tournament, whether the team lift the trophy or not. Fabrizio Romano confirmed no contact has taken place between the manager and the club, but Ratcliffe is thought to be an admirer of Southgate's work. With his focus being on the national team, it has been reported that United could make their move after the Euros. Mauricio Pochettino. Looking for a new club. Mauricio Pochettino's surprise departure from Chelsea just days after the end of the 2023-24 Premier League season almost instantly propelled the Argentine's name to the top of the list of many big clubs around Europe. The former Southampton and Tottenham boss has shown an ability to work with and improve young players, which would make him a strong candidate to guide United's youthful stars such as Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. The 52-year-old is still young enough to have many years at the top of the game while also being one of the more experienced names on this list of contenders. Pochettino has previously worked with youngsters but also big personalities at Paris Saint-Germain. Without having to deal with another club to attain his services, he could be one of the strongest prospective Ten Hag replacement. Thomas Tuchel. Bayern Munich manager eyeing Premier League return. One of the more successful managers who will be out of work in the summer is Thomas Tuchel. The German has experience of English football as he previously worked for Chelsea, even winning the Champions League with the Blues. Bayern Munich missed out on the Bundesliga crown for the first time in over a decade. As a result, it was announced the two parties would part ways at the end of the campaign. Nevertheless, Tuchel is a winner, someone who could lead United back to glory. He's ready to take over in the summer as well, and with him reportedly eager for a Premier League return, he could be one to keep an eye on. Roberto De Zerbi. Highly regarded across Europe, Roberto De Zerbi is the next up-and-coming manager on the continental scene, with the former Brighton and Hove Albion boss being monitored by several top-level Premier League sides. Taking Brighton to the Europa League during his first season in charge of the Seagulls, his stock continued to rise with each passing week. It seems only a matter of time before De Zerbi rocks up at a Champions League club, and if United aren't careful, the opportunity to bag one of Europe's most promising bosses could pass them by. Described by Pep Guardiola as one of the most influential managers of the last 20 years, it's clear the Italian has plenty of admirers and is being tipped for a successful career in management. Reports in December 2023 suggested that United could take a chance on De Zerbi if they sacked Ten Hag. But with Dean Jones claiming that the Italian is a contender to take over from Guardiola at City, United may have to act fast or else they might see their noisy neighbours get to him first. Kieran McKenna. One of British football's most promising young coaches, Kieran McKenna has history with the Red Devils after being part of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaching staff during his time in charge of the club. The young boss has gone on to achieve big things since exiting United as he gained back-to-back promotions with Ipswich Town. After taking the Tractor Boys back into the English top flight for the first time in over 20 years, there was speculation McKenna would be on the managerial shortlist of Chelsea after Pochettino's departure, but that failed to materialise. He has since signed a new contract, but the lure of Man United could still be too strong. Graham Potter. Former Chelsea boss among favourites. There have been rumours linking Graham Potter to the hot seat at Old Trafford, so it's unsurprising that he's among the favourites to replace Ten Hag. Although things didn't work out for him at Stamford Bridge, his brilliant work with Brighton still makes him a hot commodity. With several changes being put in place behind the scenes, Ratcliffe may believe that with the right support and structure, Potter could find more success. Someone capable of building a long-term project and playing exciting football. It was reported back in December that Potter was one of the preferred choices by Ineos to succeed the Dutchman if the decision was made to let him go. It remains to be seen if the Englishman will be given another shot at the big time. However, Thomas Frank. Overperformed with Brentford for several years, Thomas Frank's stock may be falling slightly due to Brentford's underwhelming 2023-24 season. However, the Bees' passionate boss has been performing miracles at the G-Tech Community Stadium. The fact that the club are now seen as an established Premier League outfit is largely down to the phenomenal work the Dane has done to galvanise his talented group of players. Expected to take up a job with a club higher up in the world of football, Frank could well land in the home dugout of Old Trafford rather than the away one next term. There are stronger contenders on this list as Frank's style of play at Brentford doesn't necessarily match the values of Man United quite as well as his rivals for the post, Zinedine Zidane. Constantly linked with the United job, you'd be forgiven for thinking Zinedine Zidane has previous connections to Man United, such as the constant reference to him whenever the chat about a new Red Devils boss comes around. So far that hasn't been the case, but the Frenchman certainly appears to be on the club's radar. A winner of 3 consecutive Champions League titles during his time as Real Madrid boss, Zidane certainly has the caliber to go into the dressing room and command respect from their underperforming talents. Interestingly enough, Zidane has spoken about taking charge of United in the past, suggesting his poor English skills could prevent him from being appointed manager. That said, the legendary midfielder did hint he wouldn't rule anything out, claiming he would never say never to the job at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim, young manager making waves at Sporting, touted by many as the next Jose Mourinho, Ruben Amorim is finding suitors across the world, with one of them potentially being the higher-ups at Ineos. Having spent much of his playing days at Benfica, he now finds himself at the helm of one of their competitors, Sporting CP. Since his arrival, the 39-year-old has restored some glory to the Lisbon outfit, playing an exciting brand of football and managing to secure 2 league titles, a Portuguese Super Cup and 2 Portuguese League Cups to go along with the one he secured during his time at Braga. A move to Old Trafford would undoubtedly be a step up, but one he would be confident in making. Xavi, former Barcelona head coach, now on the market. Xavi is another manager who is now without a club. The Spaniard originally decided to leave Barcelona at the end of the 2023-24 season before performing a dramatic U-turn and announcing he would be sticking around at Camp Nou. However, bosses at the Spanish club opted to sack him and replace him with Hansi Flick anyway. Having won La Liga in his first season in the Barcelona dugout, there are likely to still be some elite clubs interested in hiring the former Spain midfielder. Xavi's perhaps not one of the most likely options for United, but there's a good chance they will at least take a glance in his direction. Man United make Gareth Southgate priority for manager role. Erik Ten Hag's future at Manchester United is still under consideration, and that has seen Southgate posed as a frontrunner. Manchester United are considering Gareth Southgate as their next boss, post-Euro 2024. Ten Hag's future is uncertain as the club prioritise Southgate, delaying their decision. United are also exploring other options like Thomas Tuchel, Thomas Frank, Mauricio Pochettino, and Roberto De Zerbi. Erik Ten Hag's wait to find out whether he will become Manchester United boss next season continues to drag on as we enter pre-season territory, but reports have stated that a reason for the Red Devils' delay is that club chiefs massively appreciate Gareth Southgate, with a move in line for the Three Lions boss after Euro 2024. Southgate will lead his men into battle for the 4th tournament running, having reached the World Cup semi-final in his first major tournament, the final in the previous European Championships, and a quarter-final exit to France in his 3rd attempt in Qatar. Fans are quietly confident of a tournament win this time around, but it could be Southgate's last rodeo as England boss, with United keen on making a move after the tournament in Germany, according to The Independent. Gareth Southgate, Manchester United latest. The England boss could be on the move to Old Trafford. The report states that United's priority choice being Southgate is one factor that is complicating Ten Hag's future, with Ineos intent on their first huge decision in the owner's driving seat being the correct call. United chiefs have undertaken a huge review on their current managerial situation, and that means that the club aren't willing to be rushed into a move for either a new boss or keeping the Dutchman. Ten Hag himself is pushing for clarity over his future, and the former Ajax man could even lead the Red Devils by mutual consent. That leaves open the genuine chance of announcing a new manager dragging on for weeks, with Euro 2024 being Southgate's only focus at present. Southgate is the hierarchy's #1 choice to become boss, but with the Three Lions boss being unwilling to enter talks until at least July should England be knocked out at group stage level, that is a huge factor for Ineos to consider. United, as a result, have naturally considered other avenues including the likes of Thomas Tuchel and Brentford boss Thomas Frank, alongside Mauricio Pochettino and Roberto De Zerbi, who both left their Premier League roles at the end of the top-flight season. Frank has impressed bosses and Pochettino has been on United's shortlist for years, though the key factor is that none of the quartet have completely persuaded Old Trafford bosses that they are the man for the role. Tuchel, it is thought, has fallen down the pecking order due to differences in the outlook of the club due to United's willingness to build long-term, something Tuchel may not be able to offer despite a more probable chance of a rise in short-term success. All things considered, this has given Ten Hag more time, and though he wishes to stay, his exit via mutual consent has not been ruled out. United's new chiefs have worked with Southgate in the past, and having culturally changed the England squad, he could well fix United's off-field issues that have burned on for years. Southgate could relish club management. The England boss has already managed in the Premier League. Southgate's only managerial job at club level was when he was at Middlesbrough. Managing the Teesside outfit from the beginning of the 2006-2007 season until the early stretches of the 2009-10 campaign, he achieved 2 mid-table finishes with Borough, before crashing to relegation in 2008-2009, and despite a strong start to the following campaign, he relieved of his duties. But having been called underappreciated by French boss Didier Deschamps, Southgate has honed his craft with England over the past couple of seasons, and with his experiences with the Three Lions, he could well propel them back to the top 4.